Hey, it's me, Summer Bailey from Mike's and Mumus. Did I ever tell you the time when I worked for a government hospital and I worked with a lady, Caucasian, and she didn't like me? Okay, I'm gonna tell you a quick story. I don't know, I randomly thought about her. So I worked for this government hospital for like 2.5 years, but at the time I was new. I was less than maybe 2 months working there. And so it was a rumor going around that I thought I was better than everyone. How do I think I'm better than everyone and we do the same thing? So I work with this lady. I go to clean the nurse's station, sanitize the nurse's station. There's like peanuts and a cup of juice on the nurse's station. So she got there before I did. So I said, excuse me, is this yours? She wouldn't turn around. Her back was to me. I was like, excuse me, is this yours? So I said, oh, you don't hear me talking to you? So she turns around. She had this long, beautiful blonde hair. Turned around. She said, huh, you talking to me? It was only two of us at the station. I said, yeah. She said, honey, you need to address me better than that. I said, who you talking to? She said, I'm talking to you. I took off my gloves, put them in the trash. I said, I'm going to leave because I'll slap the shit out of you. Walked out, went upstairs. By the time I got upstairs, she called upstairs and said, oh, she threatened me and said that she'll slap the shit out of me. I go up there. I'm like, I never said that. I don't know what happened. You can pull the cameras. I'm cleaning the nurse's station. I'm calling out to her. I'm saying, excuse me. She doesn't. She turns back and she flips out on me. I don't know what the problem is. So anyway, they was like, okay, we'll just go home. And then, because I was working for an agency. And agencies, you make more money. And that was mostly everyone's problem. And some people, I hipped them too, working for the agency because the government wasn't paying them anything. Anyway, so I go home, I come back. She tried to get me fired. They wouldn't fire me. And I said, so we just avoid each other. Like if I worked on a unit, she worked on a unit, I would go to opposite side. If she worked on left side, I would say, look, I can't work with this lady. She has a problem with me. I don't know what the problem is. Okay. So she said something flipped to me one day and I looked at her and I was like, I get off at 7 a.m. We go at 7-Eleven across the street. I don't know. So she would go back and say, oh, she threatened me. I didn't threaten her. I don't know what your problem is. I'm not going to act a fool on the job. I make really good money here. I'm just tell you, anytime you ready, it's on. So I stopped seeing her for some reason. I asked one day, I don't know if I asked or someone told me, did you hear about, let's say Linda, I don't remember her name. I said, no, what happened? They said, well, she got sick and she had the C word and it spread. All her hair came out and everything. I said, really? That's horrible. I'm sorry to hear that. Then someone else, they knew we were like enemies, right? They showed me a picture and I was talking to one of the African ladies and the African lady's like, she's not doing well. I said, my ancestors don't play about me. And in less than 3 months, she was gone. True story. I don't know. Be careful how you treat people. Just because a person carry themselves a certain way, speak a certain way. I mean, we all have the code switch. Right. So, but for real, my ancestors don't play about me. Follow me on Mike's and Mumus and I'll tell you more stories.